It is the final game of the regular season for Lee County High School football, and we end it with a rivalry that has been brewing since the 1990s. It's the 2-7 Riverdale Raiders visiting the 5-3 Lehigh Lightning. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network as we are live from Dr. James A. Adams Memorial Stadium at Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. This should be a very aggressive battle all the way through regulation between these two teams as we will get underway in just a few moments. Riverdale enters the competition on a 2-game losing streak after dropping a game against South Fort Myers by a 42-13 outcome and another one to the Miami Westminster Christian Warriors in a tight 8-6 ball game just last Friday evening at Carl Engel Field back at RHS. On the other hand, Lehigh Senior enters the game on a 3-game winning streak. They accomplished this by rising above Cape Coral by a 28-0 final score. They won 45-13 against East Lee County, and they sneaked past Estero last week 21-8. That victory against Estero gave Lehigh their first district playoff berth since 2009. The date, time, and opponent of that playoff matchup is to be determined in the future. This right here is going to be an exciting game, and before Lehigh even entertains the thought of a playoff matchup, they first need to get through the Riverdale Raiders. Now, once again, they officially clinched a playoff berth to Lehigh Lightning, so whether they win or lose that game, this isn't going to be drastic. If Lehigh loses this game, they're still going to make the playoffs, but that doesn't mean that they should go and take this game for granted. This is the final game of the 2016 regular season schedule, so there'd be no better way to end the regular season than to get a win against your arch rival, the Riverdale Raiders, and come into the playoffs on a high note. Now, keep in mind, folks, this is the Battle of the Bell, the annual rivalry contest between Riverdale and Lehigh. Once again, we are live from Lehigh Senior High School, just underway on the broadcast. The game, however, will be underway in just moments as we have the coin toss out at the 50-yard line at the center of the field at the moment. Kickoff coming in just a few moments. And of course, we thank you all for listening. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, live from Lehigh Senior High School. This is the first ever visiting broadcast that we have had on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, so it's exciting to really get out all around Southwest Florida, visit some different press boxes and different environments for high school football, so this is going to be exciting. And let's see if Riverdale can snap out of that recent losing streak that they have gotten themselves into. Riverdale, they are coached by Tom Roselle in his 4th season of action. For the Lightning, you have James Cheney in his 2nd season with Lehigh. He is a former North Fort Myers standout football athlete, and he was once a nose guard for Florida State University, so he certainly has that football background. He knows how to lead this Lehigh squad. So we have just had the coin toss. Players from both Lehigh and Riverdale making their way out onto the field. Opening kickoff to this ball game happening in just moments. Very nice crowd on both sides of the field. And the visiting section, many Riverdale fans have made the trip out. The distance between Riverdale and Lehigh is approximately 11 miles, which is the reason why these two are such arch rivals. It's because they're so close to each other. So the Lightning have won the coin toss that has been revealed, and they have decided to defer to the second half of play. As a result, the Riverdale Raiders are going to get the ball to start the game as they move from right to left across your computer screen in this opening portion of play. Lehigh moving from left to right. Setting the ball up on the tee is the Lehigh kicker, Marlon Morales. He tees it up at the 40-yard line, surges forward, boots it up, and we are officially underway for Battle of the Bell 2016. It's Riverdale and Lehigh. Nice return coming for the Raiders, down the center of the field to the 40, down all the way to the 44-yard line. Very nice return on the play by Jalen Cochran of the Riverdale return team. Just ran it right down the center of the field. He didn't really have to do too much fancy running out there on the field. Just put it right down to the middle of the field. Kept pedaling it, broke a few tackles, multiple tackles, and a very nice, impressive return there from Cochran as he gets to the Riverdale 44. Out comes the Riverdale offense, and Daniel Ulmer, the starting quarterback, he's a senior, so this is his last football game wearing that Riverdale uniform. Speaking of the uniforms, we'll tell you about those in just a moment. Very modest handoff coming up on the way for Riverdale, a gain of about 3 going to Keychard Green, and that'll make it second down. Well, Riverdale, they are dressed in their road white uniforms, garnet red script numbers on the front and back, white pants, and they're sporting their white Riverdale helmets with the garnet red R for Riverdale on both sides. A nice garnet and gold stripe rolls down the center of the helmet as well. It's I formation for Ulmer. Multiple men in the back. Here's a handoff going to Green. That's his second consecutive carry as he is able to muscle it past the 50-yard line. Third down and about 3 to go. Just underway here in this ball game, live from Lehigh Senior High School. Nick Rush giving you the call here once again on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. Thank you all for tuning in to this Battle of the Bell contest. Ball right on the center of the field. Riverdale 3rd and 3. This time, Ulmer's going back into shotgun formation, which isn't something that he does too often. Still has a man to his back, gives it to Green, and right away he is stopped on the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's a 3 and out for Riverdale on their opening drive of the game. So talk about a nice defensive performance there by Lehigh very early on in the game, getting right to the Riverdale offense. Jaquez Brown is going to be credited with the tackle there in the backfield for Lehigh. And look at this. Riverdale is going to be punting it away, and out is the quarterback, Daniel Ulmer. It's always interesting when you see the quarterback punt, but Ulmer's no stranger to it. He's able to punt it down the center of the field. Very nice kick getting all the way back to the Lehigh 10-yard line. Up against the far side it goes, and out of bounds. That ball will travel. So Lehigh will take over at their own 10-yard line. And it's time for their offense to roll out and see if they can take advantage of the early Riverdale miscues. Lehigh, very interesting uniforms. They are dressed in home bright yellow uniforms. Up here in the press box, it seems as if they could glow in the dark. That's how bright yellow they are. Almost a neon type color, but dark blue numbers are on the front and back. They are sporting dark blue pants. And additionally, they have dark blue helmets with the yellow script L on both ends, which stands for Lehigh. Delshawn Green, the starting quarterback for Lehigh Senior, comes out. He is the 5'8" sophomore for LSHS. And that's really nice to see a starting quarterback out there, and he's a sophomore. He has 2 more years of great football to show here at Lehigh Senior High School. He's back in the shotgun this time. It's going to be a quarterback keeper off the fake handoff, and he is going to be plowed down with a short gain of about 1 or 2. So Delshawn Green with the quarterback keeper took a very aggressive hit there as multiple Riverdale defensemen were able to get on him. 2nd and 9. Man in motion off to the right side. That is Malik Jackson as another shotgun snap comes on the way from Green. However, when the snap is made, the whistle blows, and Let's see what the scenario is here. It is going to be a penalty, and a false start is going to come up here against Lehigh. That's a 5-yarder that drags them back to around the 6 and their own zone. 9:08 left to play here in your first. 0-0 score between Riverdale and Lehigh. Just moments ago, Riverdale started the game with the ball in their possession. However, a 3-and-out quickly halted things. Shotgun snap to Green. He'll give it away to Jelaine Nelson. Center of the field he runs. He's zigging and zagging past defensemen. But once again, only picks up a very short gain of 1. 3rd and 8. So both teams seem to be off to a slow start here regarding the offense. Now the Riverdale defense, however, they have been known to really tighten down on an opposing offense. Riverdale defense truly is talented. However, it seems as if it's on the offensive side of things where Riverdale begins to have some trouble. More on that in a moment. Green, he fumbled the ball. That goes to the back of the end zone. Big scram for it. Right now, Riverdale calls for a safety. And it looks like that is going to be the case.
Which will be a safety.
Yes, the ball rolled through the back of the end zone, which does make it a safety. Nice way to start the game for the Riverdale Raiders. And that tally comes up with 8:13 remaining here in your opening portion of play. Well, I was trying to see who came out of it in that scram. Delshawn Green was back towards the goal line as it was. And once again, you had not one, but multiple Riverdale defensemen getting to him. I believe it was Paul Johnson that was able to get on him first. And he stripped the ball loose of Green's possession. Ball got back towards the line, back behind the end zone there off to the left side of the broadcast position. You had multiple players of both teams trying to get at it, but the officials revealed that it went out of play. So once again, Raiders up 2-0, and to add on to this nice start for RHS, they will get the ball back after a disappointing opening drive where they went 3-and-out once again. So nice way to start the game for Riverdale. Once again, it was that nice defense. It's like a brick wall at times. They can really crack down on the running game. So Morales, the Lehigh senior kicker, sets up the ball back to the 20-yard line, boots this up to the 25 of the Riverdale end. Jalen Cochran, another nice return here, gets to about the 43 before he is dragged back. And correction, that is going to be Tyrone Campbell back that time around to return the ball. And with 8 minutes left, here comes Riverdale. Once again up 2-0 after a safety. Well, we talked a few moments ago about how the Riverdale offense is the department of this team that's had just a little bit of difficulty. They have had an average of 13 points per contest. Additionally, they have allowed about 22 points on average over the 2016 year. Ulmer back in the gun. Ulmer makes the toss off to his right side. And that's going to be a loss on the play. Keychard Green on yet another carry there that time around. He just gets the ball right in his hands, and right away you have a Lehigh Senior group of players getting to him. Seems like this has been a very aggressive defensive game thus far, because what we have seen early on in this ball game, it's not been just one defender getting to the ball carrier. It's multiple guys getting out there. This time, Ulmer switches it back to the I formation. Another carry coming up the center of the field to Green. And this time around, bringing him down was Marlon Morales. So it's 3rd and 10 for Riverdale. So very early on in this game, we have noticed that they have been going for the rushing game. Ulmer has yet to throw a pass here in this contest. 6:13 left to go in your first quarter. 2-0 Riverdale lead. Just moments ago, the defense was credited with a safety. Homer rolls out to his left side to the 35. He's going to pass it. Gets it downfield to the 40. Multiple players are trying to bobble it around. A Riverdale player was the last one to get to it. And it goes incomplete. It was Casey Drovlik, the tight end for Riverdale, getting both hands on it, but he was on his way to the ground. He could not get good possession of the ball, so it's bobbled up the near side against the Lehigh sideline, incomplete, and once again, Riverdale cannot advance. Homer back to kick the ball. So it seems as if, judging by how this game is going to go very early on, Riverdale is going to have to really crack down defensive-wise. This gets all the way back to the 11-yard line just about. So Lightning just back behind the 20-yard line, very similar to their previous opening drive of this ball game. So after that kick, we are going to have an officials timeout for water. We will take a timeout here on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network as well. Lehigh takes control of the ball as they trail by 2, 5:47 to play here in quarter number 1. 5 minutes, 47 seconds left to play in quarter number 1. Lehigh trails 2-0 to the Riverdale Raiders as the Lightning have control of the ball back behind their own 15. After giving up a safety in their previous offensive drive, their inaugural one of the ball game, they hope to rebuild and put their opening points on the board. With a carry on the way was Malik Jackson for Lehigh. That time he was in motion on the line of scrimmage. Running up the far side, he was able to get his hands up on the ball, runs it for about a 2-yard advantage on the play as it's second down. There's the snap from Green. Screen up to the near side, up against the 20-yard line. It is going to be reeled in by Russell Brown, a Lehigh wide receiver. It's going to be 3rd and 1 as he comes up just short of the first down marker, up against the near side. You are listening to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. Nick Rush giving you the call as we are live from Dr. James A. Adams Memorial Stadium at Lehigh Senior High School. Carry coming up the center of the field. It looked like that running back was originally open. However, he is halted, and it's Jelaine Nelson getting a touch up. He's able to dance around, and it appears that he's able to get that fresh new set of downs. Visually from the view of my broadcast position, it looked like he may have been a bit short. However, the officials, they have the nice close view down there on the sidelines, and they're able to get that better view. They determine Lehigh has the first down. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Down on the winding first quarter clock. Riverdale up 2-0. Nice long pass from the quarterback, Green, and it's caught to the 45-yard line, near side. Insane completion on the way from Malik Jackson. 38-yard gain. Guarding him was Connor Johnston, and he was trying to get his arms up, and originally I thought that ball was going straight to Johnston. However, Delshawn Green, he just put that ball right on the money into the loving arms of Malik Jackson, who comes up big. Lehigh, for the first time of the contest, they are in enemy territory to the Riverdale 45. Green moves quickly up the far side, throws for the first down. Big scram for the ball, 30-yard line, right wing side. And now Riverdale says they have the ball. But let's wait for the official call from the refs.
To number 18, Jeff Augustin.
It was Jeff Augustin credited with the catch. There was a fumble. And it is recovered by Riverdale. It took a few moments for the officials to get in the middle of that scramble of players, and it turns out it is going to be covered up. Riverdale, they're really playing as a team tonight. You can really see that. It's not just one player doing the work. Everyone's getting out there, making a difference because they know that this is a very important ball game. It's the final one of the 2016 regular season. Lehigh comes into this ball game as the defenders of the I'm Gonna Ring Your Bell Trophy, which is the name of the prize that these two teams are competing for. We'll tell you more about that traveling trophy in just a few moments after Riverdale is able to snap the ball for the first time on this drive. 3:46 to go in your opening portion of play. Riverdale still up 2-0 as a result of that turnover. Second turnover of the night for the Raiders, and Lehigh goes 0 for 2 on the offense when it comes to scoring. Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line for Riverdale as they have that ball patted down at the center of the field. I formation. Defense creeping up. Ulmer with a nice fake out. He's running it down to the 45 to the 50. 45 near side, and down goes Ulmer. Unbelievable play there from Danny Ulmer. If there's one thing that Riverdale fans know about Daniel, it's that he really knows how to run the ball. He has a set of wheels on him, very speedy for your typical quarterback, and that time he's able to wedge himself in between two defensemen. And wow, talk about a phenomenal play from Ulmer. Once again gets it down to the Lehigh 45 as Riverdale hopes to extend their 2-point advantage. Ulmer in the gun. Drops back to the 45, rolling out right side, and he gets laid out to the 40, back into Raider end. Very nice sack on the way from Chris Pierre, who is a defensive lineman for Lehigh, and he was just on Ulmer that entire time, who just took too much of an opportunity. He just wasted too much time, and when you're playing against a talented team like Lehigh, you need to get that ball out of your hands as quick as possible when you're the quarterback. And that time Ulmer, he was looking downfield, couldn't find anybody, and before he knew it, there comes that defenseman, Chris Pierre, to lay him out. Second and long for Riverdale. Ball goes loose. Here's Lehigh with it to the 20-15-10 touchdown Lehigh. The Lightning take their first lead of the game. With the scoop and score is Arthur Nance. Lehigh takes a 6-2 lead with 2:38 to go in your first. Well, that was a very quick-moving play, I must say. Ulmer looked like he was trying to pitch the ball off to his left side, which was up the near sideline. However, it went horribly wrong. A Lehigh defenseman was able to get in between it, which I believe was Arthur Nance. He was able to block it, and he takes it to the house, running down the middle of the field. That is impressive defense there for Lehigh. So it's the two defenses getting these teams on the board. And the Lightning are going to go for the PAT here. Holding down the snap for the Lightning is DeMarquise Collins. Snap held down at the 10. The kick is up, and it is right in between the uprights. That makes it a 7-2 Lehigh advantage. And once again, it's the kicker Marlon Morales coming out there, putting up the extra point. Once again, 2:38 left here, and your opening round of this football game, 7-2, Lehigh is up. More football from Lehigh Acres, Florida, in just a moment. Just moments after putting up the extra point for Lehigh, out comes Marlon Morales to provide the kickoff. Oh, that's a beauty of a kick going all the way back to the goal line. Nice carry coming up on the way here to the 15 to the 20. That man is still dancing around, and it's Tyrone Campbell with yet another opportunity.
Number 10 on return for the Raiders, Tyrone Campbell.
So it goes to the 20-yard line of Riverdale. Well, welcome back to Lehigh Acres, Florida at Lehigh Senior High School. 7-2 Lehigh lead after just moments ago. Riverdale was on the offense with a 2-point advantage until Arthur Nance was able to pick away a toss off to the left side. That counted as a fumble. Nance scooped it up at the middle of the field and brought it to the house. It results in a 7-2 score. So Lehigh, they're on top for the first time of the game. 2:28 left in this first once again. Carried down to the center of the field. And it's going to be Malcolm Spencer getting his first touch-up of regulation. Gain of 1. Really festive atmosphere here at Lehigh Acres, Florida. Once again, thank you for joining us. When it comes to broadcast here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, this is the first game that we have covered with Riverdale on the road. So very exciting event, very nice atmosphere here at Lehigh Senior, and hopefully a good game is going to follow us along here by both of these contestants. Ulmer back in the shotgun, and there's a flag dropped on the field right after the snap. He was trying to go for Spencer that time around, and a toss off to the right end. So now we are going to await the official ruling here. It is going to be, and that is going to be a false start against Riverdale. We have now dropped to 1 minute left here in this first. Nice game of defense thus far here between Lehigh and Riverdale once again. Drawing first blood was Riverdale, being credited with a safety for Lehigh back when they were on their first offensive drive of the ball game. And just on the last Riverdale offensive drive, previously to this one once again, it was a scoop and score from Arthur Nance. One of the 14 seniors on this Lehigh squad that has been honored prior to the game. That is right here at Lehigh Senior High School. It is senior night, with it being the final home game of the season for them and final regular season game period. Now Riverdale, last week they had their senior night, and they had about 25 seniors on their team. So that shows you that Lehigh, they're a little bit more of a younger team, but they've been getting the wins, and that's what matters. So it seems as if it's been forever ever since we've had the last snap for Riverdale. Clock has been actually rescheduled to 1:54. Reset would be a better word for that, excuse me, but either way, they have reset the clock. About 54 additional seconds were put up there. So after what seems like forever once again, Riverdale offense are finally back out on the field. Running down the right side is Ulmer, and he is dropped back way at around the 10-yard line. Far side, nice sack on the way there from Derek Massey. And that's something that Danny Ulmer is just going to have to get used to. He's all the way in the backfield. He's so focused on his receivers downfield. But these Lehigh defensemen, what I've noticed about them thus far, they are a quick team. They were wasting no time getting to Ulmer, so throughout the game you can expect Ulmer to perhaps get a little more quick, a little more steady and upbeat when it comes to his receptions. It's great to see Ulmer take a little bit more of a chance off his right throwing arm, because typically he's a guy that puts a lot of trust into his running backs. But hey, it's the Battle of the Bell contest. Anything can happen. Very nice carry on the way here from Malcolm Spencer. And he gets it all the way to the 25-yard line, middle of the field. It's going to be 4th down and 5 to go for this Riverdale offense. Down to 20 seconds off a rolling clock. Let's see if Riverdale is going to run it down, or maybe they'll go for the punt to end quarter number 1, which feels like it has been very lengthy. Riverdale trailing 7-2. There's the snap. It barely gets over the head of Ulmer, who sends it airborne to the 15, all the way down to the 45 in Lehigh territory. So time has expired, and you're first. Lehigh up 7-2. More football after this as Riverdale heads back to the defense. You are listening to Raider football on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. The powerful Raider defense is back out on the field. However, their team is down 7-2 as we head into your second of 4 12-minute quarters and regulation. Lehigh with the ball, hoping to extend their 5-point advantage as they have control of the ball at their own 45. Nice sling downfield from the green, and there's the touchdown. 10 seconds into your second quarter of play. It's a beautiful pass from Delshawn Green all the way to Russell Brown, number 8. Wow. Easy play there for the quarterback, Delshawn Green. He had a man streaking down the middle of the field. Pitch and catch, it's as simple as that. And with 11:50 to play here in your second, it's 13-2. Lehigh, as they're hoping to really make things out of control here in the early stages. Marlon Morales, 1 for 1 thus far on the night when sending up PATs. He nails his second one, but there is a flag after the snap. Play was blown dead right after the snap, for a matter of fact, so let's take a look at what this is all about. Either way, it's great news for Lehigh. They now have an 11-point advantage here. And Riverdale, they're off to a not-so-good start here to the second quarter.
Looks like that was an illegal procedure against the Lightning.
So it's an illegal procedure against the Lightning, which is noted by our Lehigh Lightning public address announcer. It's a 5-yard violation. So Morales is back out there on the field, and he'll be kicking this one from 5 yards back, of course, to the 15. Either way, it shouldn't be a problem. He really has a powerful right leg that he sends the ball off of. DeMarquise Collins holding down the kick yet again. This one is barely good. Almost went wide of the right hash mark, but it barely gets in. Riverdale is down 14-2. They'll get the ball back in just moments. Beautiful pass from Delshawn Green to Russell Brown, which puts Lehigh up by 12 points. Well, just moments ago, before our end of the first quarter break, we were discussing a little bit about the history of the Battle of the Bell, or at least we were going to, but this has been a very nice, fast-paced ball game, and that's something you want to see when you're in a fast-paced matchup like this. The annual Battle of the Bell contest has been around for many years. This is the 22nd edition of the Battle of the Bell rivalry, for a matter of fact. It has existed almost since when Lehigh Senior was newly built back in the 1990s. Here's a nice kick from Lehigh. This ball is going to be fumbled to the 5-yard line, to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nice return coming by Riverdale, getting dragged down to the 32-yard line.
That's number 19.
Was Roygerian Williams, who is getting his inaugural return on the evening. So Riverdale, they're struggling in the opening stages of this ball game. Riverdale caught this Lehigh team sleeping, but now it seems as if those positions are reversed. 11:41 left here in your second. 14-2 Lehigh lead. Riverdale, they need to turn things around right here. If they can't get it going right now, then next thing you know, a bad habit is going to start up. On that kickoff, there was a block in the back, which will reverse Riverdale to their own 10-yard line. So not a good situation here for Riverdale. In this new quarter, they move from left to right. From right to left will move Lehigh here in your second. Well, this bell that the schools are competing for actually came from an old fire station. The bell was for sale at a local thrift shop. This is a very interesting story, and I was told it during last year's edition of Battle of the Bell. Brief carry on the way here from Malcolm Spencer makes it 2nd and 8 as he puts his head down, runs it 2 yards ahead. Riverdale contacted Lehigh on the possibility of using the spell as a traveling trophy to intensify the rivalry between the two football teams. Lehigh Senior approved of the idea, and it became an annual tradition that continues to this very day. Once again, this is the 22nd year of this rivalry. That really is something, isn't it? Spencer gets control yet again, and he is stopped for a short gain yet again. 3rd and 7 will be the official ruling. So it seems as if that quarterback Ulmer now, he's starting to get back into that habit of handing it off. But you know, that shouldn't be such a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with getting that nice routine of getting a few passes in, but also just putting the ball into the hands of your running back every couple of plays. There's a fumbled snap on the play. Big crowd jumping on top of it. Riverdale remains out on the field. Lehigh claims they have it, of course, but seems as if Riverdale is not staying off that field. There was originally a false start against the Raiders. So back 5 yards, the ball goes yet again. Raiders offense, they need to find something to get the ball downfield. They're in a 12-point disadvantage, 10-18 to play here in quarter number 2, live from Lehigh Senior High School. Ulmer back in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's barely able to keep it off the ground. Pass down the center of the field is way too far ahead for the intended receiver, Jalen Cochran. And that was a really out of control pass there from Ulmer. He was trying to go deep downfield as the ball bounces right at the 50-yard line. And Cochran, he was getting trailed back. He was in a little bit of a duel there with a defenseman. However, there were no flags. Another 3 and out on the way for the Riverdale Raiders. Ulmer out there for the punt. This is a very low-lying kick across the 40 to the 45 to the Raiders sidelines on the far right side of the field it goes. Lehigh with some more nice field possession. Out comes Delshawn Green, the Lightning quarterback, hoping to feed off of this momentum that he has had thus far in the game. Lightning with a pair of touchdowns thus far here in the ball game. One of them came from number 15, Arthur Nance. It was a scoop and score. That is what Lehigh was able to take advantage of to get themselves on the board for the first time. Their second touchdown came from Russell Brown, the wide receiver on the previous offensive line, or drive, for the Lehigh Lightning as they have the ball yet again at the Riverdale 45. Shotgun formation here for Green. Shalane Nelson is off to his right side here. Man in motion from right to left is going to be Malik Jackson. Shotgun snap, handoff, near side to the 45 to the 40. Nice block down to the 35. That ball is going to be carried. And it is going to be Shalane Nelson, for a matter of fact, coming up with the carry and the fresh new set of downs for the Lightning. Now it seems as if the Riverdale defense is starting to slow down a bit. They're not getting to these Lightning players quick, just like they were doing at the beginning of this game. And that shows you how quickly some players can get discouraged when they are down by quite a bit. An official's timeout is on the way here. 9 minutes, 25 seconds to play here in your second quarter. 12-point advantage going to Lehigh as they head back to the benches with some nice encouragement. Well, once again, when you get down early on in a ball game, you can feel discouraged. If your team is slowing down, maybe the pace just isn't the way you wanted it to be. Either way, we have an entire half of football to play. The second half, we still have 9:13 off a rolling clock to play here in the second. Plenty of ball to be played, so the Riverdale defense, they need to find a way to maintain that speed, keep things going here. Carry to the center of the field, goes to the 30-yard line as Jelaine Nelson is on the carry yet again for Lehigh. 2nd and 6 will be your ruling by the chain gang and the officials. We'll tell you some more interesting facts about Lehigh Senior in just a few moments. Shotgun formation coming from the sophomore quarterback, Delshawn Green. Nelson off to his right side, and that's going to be Nelson getting control of the ball. Short gain of 4 coming on to play. 3rd and 2 for Lehigh. However, they're getting past that 30-yard line just barely, however, and it makes you wonder if Marlon Morales may come out, take a chance to try to extend this Lehigh advantage. They could get it past the 25. I think that kicker Morales could come out and he can really boot it. His PATs have looked very impressive thus far. And here's a nice tackle here down on Delshawn Green as he had a nice quarterback keeper. 4th down and a gain of 1. So it's 4th down, Lehigh with the ball and the Raider end. Somewhat decent field goal territory. Let's see what they're going to do. Green is still out on the field, and it appears that they are going to go for the 4th down conversion. Either way, it's a little bit of a risk taken here for Lehigh. There's nice carry on the way, and it should be a stop. It is. Jelaine Nelson is stopped short. It's a turnover on downs. Riverdale takes over as they are down by a 14-2 score. And your second quarter, 7:13 is what is left on the clock. We'll have more football on the way on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Riverdale takes possession of the ball back at their own 30-yard line, and they start things off with a very nice rush on the play from the running back, Malcolm Spencer. They're trying to drive out the ball to the center of the field. 9-yard gain comes up there for Spencer. Raiders down by a 12-point deficit under 7 minutes left to play. Battle of the Bell at Lehigh Senior High School. What a game it's been thus far. Both teams are really playing their hearts out. Riverdale, they're trying to beat out a little bit of a slow period of the game. Here's Spencer with a 1st down and room to spare across the 50, 45, nearer side, and out he goes for the 1st down. Yeah, Spencer, he's not going to come up with a monster gain every time, but when he's able to break loose downfield, that's when he really can be a game changer as he picks up a total of 22 on that rush.
We got timeout on the field. Officials timeout for water.
Another water break from the officials. That comes with 6:27 left on the stop clock. Riverdale still trying to work something out here. We'll tell you more about Lehigh Senior for some of you Riverdale fans that may be tuning in. Lehigh Senior High School officially broke ground in 1993. Despite the fact that construction was still going on 2 years later in certain buildings around campus, the plan to finish building the school in 2 years was actually completed in 15 months. LSHS is known as the Center of the Arts, which gives artistically talented students a unique academic opportunity to educate themselves further in the arts, which serves them well on their way to the next level in their educational training and chosen careers. So there certainly is a lot to be offered here at Lehigh Senior High School if you are a student and in the Southwest Florida area. Riverdale in enemy territory, moving down the field from left to right. And we are back to action after that water break from the officials. Homer under center, Spencer is behind him. There's the snap. Spencer gets down to the 40-yard line as he gets up to the 40-yard line, and he'll get 4 yards on the play. So Spencer is starting to see a little bit more action than he did back in that first quarter, and it seems as if back in that opening portion of play, Riverdale, they were really experimenting with multiple running backs and multiple players getting out there. Ulmer set to go. Nice fake there. Toss off to the left side, goes to Green, and he is taken back to the 45 for a 2-yard loss, and flags will be thrown after the whistle. So originally it appeared that the handoff was going to Spencer. However, a nice fake play was drawn up there, and Green was able to get the toss as he was off to the left side of Ulmer. Officials debating this one out. 14-2, Lightning lead. 5:45 until halftime. And it appears that this penalty is going to be waived off. So sure enough, there will be no violation. Riverdale picks up a loss, which is a pair of yards. Down to the 46 they go. 44, excuse me, in the Lightning zone. Homer with Green and Spencer behind him. Spencer's going to get the play in his hands. Gain of about 4. He was trying to run it up the far left side there. But this Lehigh defense, they've been able to tighten up compared to the first quarter.
There's a flag on the play.
And you have yet another yellow flag down on the turf. Seems as if most, if not all, of those flags have been tossed after the blow of the whistle. Most of them, at least. So it appears that this is going to be against the Raiders. It is a holding violation. Down to the 40 it goes. Now the Raiders are backed up on their own end of the field.
Brings up a 3rd and
25
25.
yards to go to the first down marker. If Riverdale can't make it on this play, it's 4th down. Many RHS fans are beginning to get frustrated. As you can imagine, back to the 30 it goes. Ulmer all by himself. Lehigh defenseman on him, and that Lehigh defenseman gets the last laugh. It was Chris Pierre with his 2nd sack of the game. Ulmer trying to run it up the far sideline yet again, and it doesn't work out in his favor. Another loss. Riverdale has a lot to make up for as it's down number 4. Under 5 minutes left to play here in the second.
That's number 4. Ulmer. Chased down by number 58.
Ulmer, there's a lot special about this young man. He's a senior
Number 15.
and his 2nd year of varsity football action as the leader of Riverdale. Nice throwing arm off to the right side. Additionally, he can punt. And he's been getting them downfield as well. To the 30 it goes, where it becomes a dead ball on the Lehigh end. So we will have a quick break on the field here. Meanwhile, we will stay on air at the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, high atop the action in the press box of Lehigh Senior High School. And throughout the broadcast, for some of the Riverdale fans who may not be as familiar with Lehigh Acres or Lehigh Senior High School, we've really made sure that we have came up with some great information that will allow the fans to just get better acquainted with the school and the small town in Southwest Florida. Out comes Delshawn Green, the Lehigh quarterback, who's had one heck of a night thus far. Far side carry, gain of approximately 7. There's another towel down on the field. And it was Collins with the rush. Getting pushed out of the play just shy 1 or 2 yards of the marker. And now we'll have yet another debate among the officials on what the call is going to be. Debate is still going on. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of a line change.
We got personal foul on the Lightning. That will back them up 15.
15-yard penalty going against the Lightning here. And it looked like that one was a holding. So first down will be replayed. Lightning back to the 15 in their own zone. We see Ken Felix getting into the game for Nate DeFreen, who heads to the benches. Both of those men are linemen for this Lehigh team, which has been on high alert ever since the beginning of this second and through the later stages of the first. Shotgun snap and a carry, a nice carry coming up on the way, very impressive as Malik Jackson down the far side he goes, and there's no stopping him. It's a touchdown, Lightning. Wow, Malik Jackson, he has a set of wheels on him as he brings it all the way down the field. And my goodness, once he broke a tackle, there was no stopping him. Now there was a flag right after Jackson reached the end zone, so Lehigh's not going to be too quick to celebrate here. It appears that this is going all the way back. Sure enough, ball is moved all the way back into the Lehigh end. That has to be a sinking feeling for Malik Jackson. Put all his energy into bringing that ball to the house. And the final verdict is going to be a Lehigh holding call, which quickly silences the home fan section of Dr. James A. Adams Memorial Stadium here at LSHS. So, with that being said, it is a 14-2 score. It's going to remain in Lehigh's favor. However, they still do have the ball. 3:53 to play until the half. But still, it doesn't matter who you are, what position you play. It has to just be horrible. You have a feeling of joy as you have a very nice carry to the end zone, and then it's all taken away. It's as if it never even happened as Collins gets a short reception on the play near side. He is laid out up against the 30-yard line, and he is pushed out of boundaries. Well, more about Lehigh here. Let's talk about the football alumni that have came from Lehigh Senior High. Shotgun formation on the way here from Green. Collins behind him on the snap. This is a catch. Let's wait for it. It's going to be incomplete to DeMonte Hart. He was bobbling the ball all around at the center of the field, but he can't hold on as he dives down to the turf.
They will bring up a 4th down and a long 3 for the Lightning.
4th down and 3 is the result of the incomplete pass. Talk about a little bit of luck there coming up for the Riverdale defense. Because if Hart came up with that reception, he would have been awfully close to the first down marker, and he may have even gotten the call that he wanted, possibly. But either way will not happen. As a result, Lehigh punts it away. Nice high line drive. I'll tell you something, Marlon Morales, what a kicker he is. To the 35 it goes. Raiders in their own end. As on the return is Roy Alexander for the Raiders. 2:11 left here in your second quarter and first half. 14-2, the Raiders are down as they have the ball back in their possession.
Raiders from the 34-yard line.
Well, two very familiar football alumni in the NFL are Philip Buchanan from Lehigh. He was a cornerback for the Detroit Lions. Mario Henderson was another one who was a tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Jeremy Rare, he played as a cornerback for Oakland at that. Even a few arena football players have originated here at LSHS as well. So if you're an arena football fan, we'll get you settled in on that in just moments. Omer with the shotgun, throwing down the center of the field. It's picked off by the Lehigh Lightning to the Riverdale 35. Able to finesse the ball into his arms was Quan Martin. Deshaun Lane was the intended receiver, but the pass was underthrown, and the closest man there was Martin, who has no problem picking that ball back to Lehigh. 2:03 left until the half. Well, those arena football players that came from Lehigh Senior were Eric McIntosh, who competed for the Tampa Bay Storm, Orlando Predators, and Iowa Barnstormers, and Stephen Gachette originated from LSHS, and he competed for the Kansas City Command, the Philadelphia Soul, and the Orlando Predators. I'll tell you something, arena football, very entertaining stuff to watch. Shotgun snap, pass from Green, sidelines is picked away to the 40, 45, 50, 45, and it's drawn out of bounds. Roy Alexander gets right in the way of it, and Riverdale has the ball at the center of the field. It's been a game of turnovers. You can't count either team out at this point because there's still an entire half of football to be played. But these two teams, those defenses are coming right on back. Back to the 40 it goes. Well, arena football, once again, for those who are not familiar with that, it's played on a 50-yard field instead of your typical 100-yarder, which is just like in this game, outdoor football. Raiders once again back at their own 40, I formation. Carry on the way here coming from Spencer, gain of 3. Once again, Spencer, he's a guy that can really cause some trouble out there on the football field. He knows how to break through. And he knows how to get those big gains, but it doesn't happen every single play. That's for sure. 2nd down and 7. And of course, arena football, what's interesting about it is there's no punting, and also there's just a wide variety of rule changes. So on 4th down, you either have to go for a field goal or a 4th down conversion. Incomplete pass. Deshaun Lane was the player who was open. It gets into his hands. It gets into the arms of Malik Jackson. But no one can come into contact with it. It's incomplete as the ball bounces down at the Lehigh 45. Third down for the Raider offense. 1:13 left until the half. Raiders down 14-2 to Lehigh Lightning. Ulmer in the gun, back to the 35, unleashes a pass. Is it caught? No! It goes too far over the intended receiver, and that player takes a big booming hit. It was Dante Quintella, the man wide open on the far side. And he was across that first down marker. If the pass was just a bit shorter, he could have got possession of the ball at least. But additionally, a man comes right behind him and puts down Quintella. Fourth down for the Raiders. Out comes Ulmer punting it again.
Ulmer back to punt for the Raiders. Number 15, Arthur Nance to return the kick for the Lightning.
Returning the kick is Arthur Nance for Lehigh as he awaits it back at the Lehigh 30. Kick at the 35. It's high up. Nance having to back up to the 20. He's letting it bounce to him. He's not even going to get to it. Raider players surround it as it finally halts at the 19 up the far end. And out comes Lehigh and their own end, less than a minute to play in half number 1. Arena football, it's played in the summer, so it never has to compete with the NFL. And it's great. It's basically like a developmental league, I would say, almost. It is professional football in a way. But a lot of players who aspire to make it to the NFL or make it to the next level, they all play the game of arena football to enhance their skills and get the attention of NFL scouts.
And off to number 6, Nelson. Short gain on the play.
Short gain on the play as Nelson gets a hold of the ball. Lehigh up by 12. 43 seconds left, and we have a stoppage.
Timeout, Raiders.
Raiders take the timeout. And you know, the Raiders, only way that they have gone on the board here, and your first 2 quarters is by a safety. And that was back right at the beginning of this first quarter. You know what's great about Lehigh Senior High School is that they have a very enthusiastic crowd. Players are very hyped up. They're energetic. You hear music being played on the PA system right now. Some fans dancing along to it. Everyone's just having a great time here tonight. So Riverdale comes out of their timeout. It's second and about 10 to go here for Lehigh. It will be exactly 10 to go. Man in motion from right to left. Jelaine Nelson is that man. Jelaine Nelson is the man who comes up with an impressive carry down to the 40-yard line. And it was a little bit of a fake there. It originally looked like it was going to Nelson, but Delshawn Green, the quarterback, faked it, kept it to himself, and that was a nice quarterback keeper. A great thing about these two teams is that they both have starting quarterbacks that are certainly not afraid to keep the ball in their hands every once in a while and take a run, take a risk, whatever it may be. Both quarterbacks are doing a fine job tonight. Riverdale putting a lot of pressure right now on Green as a handoff comes down to the 40. 45 to the 50. Big scramble of players trying to make the stop as Jelaine Nelson is back at it again. And now you have a player down on the field for the Raiders. Yeah, this is not good. That player looks a little shaken up. Well, the good news is that he's moving around. But right now he's clearly in some pain. It looks like it's that left leg, I believe he's holding up. Well, right now you have the coaching staff for Riverdale. You have the trainers coming out to check up on them. So let's take a look. The entire Lehigh team is taking a knee out of respect. And that really shows you some of the great sportsmanship that you see here in the game of football, whether it be at the high school level, college, even in the NFL. A lot of these guys have great respect for their opponents. Clock stopped at 26 seconds. And here in your second. That player is still down. That's never a good thing to see.
Aaron Collier, 14. North Fort Myers, 14.
The player is down on his back at the 35-yard line off to the right side of my broadcast position. You still have the trainers examining him right now, and it looks like they're going to pull him up. That's always something you like to see, a player getting up after originally being shaken up, and that player is back up. It's Keshard Green, a very vital running back on the Riverdale offense. Players arrive back out to the playing field. Ball at the 47. Lehigh in their own end as they hold the ball. And now there's a measurement timeout on the way, so quite a little bit of a stoppage here in time. Shane Gain comes back out. And let's see, they're really extending it out there, and it is short.
Short.
Yeah, it's about a football length short, as it was said here by our public address announcer. Less than 1 yard to go here for the Lightning, however. Second down. So they have multiple opportunities here if they can't get it across the first down marker on this try. And another timeout on the way by Riverdale, or excuse me, it's the Lightning rather. This comes with 26 seconds left here until halftime. 14-2, Lehigh lead. Quite a few stoppages. We'll take one as well here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. We are back from Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. 26 seconds to go here in your first half. 14-2. Riverdale is down as Lehigh has the ball at around midfield at the 47. Second and 1 to go. That's going to be a Lightning first down on the play. Across the 50 it goes as Green's pass is complete to Collins. Big move there by Collins. He makes the catch and immediately rushes to the sideline. So that saves quite a bit of time and timeouts as well for Riverdale. Or Lehigh, rather, excuse me. It's a great way to quickly stop the clock and get back into the huddle, draw something up to get the ball quickly downfield. Green trying to break loose across the 45. He marches where he's pulled out a play to the Lehigh benches. 15 seconds left to spare. This end of the first half was very similar to last week's Riverdale football game against Miami Westminster Christian. Final 2 minutes of that first half felt more like 20 minutes, and it's very similar here in this case as well, as Riverdale is competing against the Lehigh Lightning. Green all alone back in the shotgun, awaiting the snap of the 50. Back to the 45 he goes. He slings it up the near side. It's complete to Quan Martin, but the officials blow the play dead. Penalty marker dropped on the far end of the field.
Got a flag on the play. It's a neutral zone infraction on the offense.
So this is going to be an offensive penalty and a neutral zone infraction on the way. Very interesting. So that just barely pushes Lehigh back in their own territory. Ball at the 49, 13 seconds left. And your second quarter. All eyes on Green, as he has just been very impressive. all throughout regulation. The snap. Fake handoff coming on the way there to Collins. Downfield it goes. And this is going to be incomplete as Martin was at the middle of the field and double coverage here by the Raider defense. Clock frozen with 9 seconds left. Riverdale that started the first quarter went their way, but then things started to slip away from them in regards to their control. On and off the ball, on defense, on offense. They're hoping for a stop so they can get into the locker rooms with a 12-point disadvantage. Either way, it's very rough to come back from. Nice carry on the way there from Green. Clock gets down to 0 seconds as he got out a play to around the 35 far side. And let's see if that's going to be the end of the first half. We're still waiting. Players standing around on the field here as referees are debating whether he got out a play, Green that is, before the clock expired. Right now, Riverdale, they're marching off the field. Some of the coaches are standing around, but the players are walking off. And we have reached halftime. At the end of your first 2 quarters of regulation, Riverdale is down to Lehigh, 14-2. Lehigh is going to get the ball first to begin your second half, which we will give you right after this. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action from Lehigh Senior High School for the Battle of the Bell contest. More play-by-play to come after this. Welcome back to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, where we are live from Dr. James A. Adams Memorial Stadium at Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. As we get back from the halftime break, Lehigh will be taking the ball to begin the third quarter as they currently hold a 14-2 lead. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action here from Southwest Florida. Final home game of the regular season for both teams. Lehigh has clinched a berth in the playoffs. However, Riverdale will not be participating in postseason action as the Riverdale kicker J.P. D'Alessandro will boost this ball back to the Lehigh 5, where it comes with a very nice return to the 50. 45-40. He could go all the way. Can he do it? He just might be able to. He's still up. Flag on the play as that man gets tackled at the goal line far side. And it appeared that player was Arthur Nance. An 88-yard line kickoff return. How about that? Well, you would have thought Riverdale would come into the second half, come out of the locker rooms on a little bit of a power storm, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. But I was expecting them to really come out here with some great emotion. Because you have to remember, the team is not coming into the postseason. This is the last game for these Raider players in 2016. And for these seniors, it's their very last game with the Riverdale Raiders. So expect them to go all out here. Ball is going to be laid back to about the 22-yard line in Lehigh territory. It was a penalty against Lehigh, and the ball was spotted where the foul was located. So a little bit of a slight yard loss there for Lehigh. However, still some nice yard gain as they currently lead by 12. They can extend it right here, and just a few plays on the opening drive. Down to the 5-yard line it goes as Jelaine Nelson was on the carry. For Riverdale, once again, like we just mentioned numerous times, it's their last home game. Last game ever for the seniors as Lehigh picks up a first down on that play. And I mean, it's the Battle of the Bell contest after all. Lehigh comes into the year defending the bell after last year. Speaking of that, we'll bring up last year's Battle of the Bell contest to you as Nelson is once again getting the rush. Gain of approximately 2 as he has stopped second and goal inside the 5. Lehigh, any play now, they can strike as we are now just 1 minute into your third quarter. 14-2 Lehigh advantage. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, Delshawn Green, who has been on fire all night long for Lehigh Senior. Quarterback keeper trying to slip inside the far end of the end zone. Lehigh bench thought they had themselves a touchdown. It will not work out as he is just about a yard short. Third and goal. 1 yard rush is all it takes here to make this a 20-2 difference in Lehigh's favor. Quarterback keeper on the way, and Lehigh gets the touchdown. It's Delshawn Green. 20-2 ball game. 10:43 is where the scoring marker comes into play here in your third. The entire offense was playing very close. It was almost like the victory formation at the end of the game where all the players lean into each other very close, except this time it was a quarterback keeper from Delshawn Green. Barely gets across the goal line for the third touchdown on the evening for the Lightning. Out comes Marlon Morales. The Lehigh kicker, who has been very impressive. Snap is down, kick is up. Is it good? Yes, it is. And there's a flag right as it comes through the uprights. So we're not done here just yet. A second flag is going to be thrown. You have Rigo Villa for Lehigh Senior putting his hands up in front of the referees. Paul Johnson is discussing something with the refs. And let's see what this is going to be all about. The first marker was thrown right as soon as the ball came in between the uprights. The second flag was thrown moments afterwards. It was a penalty against Lehigh. Actually, correction, there was a penalty against both teams. Therefore, they are going to even out. And that extra point is good. It's 21-2 Lehigh. To start your third quarter as we are just underway after halftime. Russell Brown, Malik Jackson, and now Delshawn Green are the three different players who have scored three different touchdowns for Lehigh. So once again, this is a team that relies on teamwork. It's not just one player getting the big gains. It's just all about getting it downfield to your teammate. Everyone's contributing. And Lehigh, they're certainly playing like they want the bell. And this is a team that most certainly deserves the bell. Riverdale is really going to have to put in some work here during this third quarter. They're going to have numerous stops defensively, and they're going to have to quickly score on top of that. Nick Rush giving you the call here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Battle of the Bell night. And just like last year's Battle of the Bell, Lehigh, they took off and they haven't been giving Riverdale any chances. Lehigh is set up. And with that, we will discuss your 2015 Battle of the Bell matchup, which took place at Riverdale High School just almost a year from tonight. Carry on the way here for Riverdale. Nice kickoff return. Coming to the 25, to the 30. Weaving in between defensemen is Tyrone Campbell before he is stopped at the 30. Near side in front of the Lehigh benches. Riverdale moves from right to left across your computer screen. And this new third quarter of play from left to right will run Lehigh. Well, back in 2015 on November 6th, for a matter of fact, these two teams competed against each other at Riverdale High School. The game was scoreless all the way through halftime, but Lehigh soon exploded by scoring 6 points in the third quarter and 18 in the fourth to put together a 24-0 shutout victory, as the Lightning were rewarded the bell for the first time in 3 years. And tonight they are hoping to keep the trophy in their grasp for a second consecutive season. Ulmer in the I formation. Carey coming up the gut for Spencer, who is tripped up at the 35. Gain of about 5 on the play. as Riverdale approaches second down.
Taken down. Nice open field tackle by number 21, Quan Martin.
And I recall broadcasting that game, and it was very interesting. Once again, by halftime, it was 0-0 in last year's game. Very close. There were plenty of miscues on both teams. But then as Lehigh got more comfortable, they started to explode. They put up point after point after point, touchdown after touchdown, you name it. And it's very similar to their progress in tonight's game as well. Lehigh started off rough by giving up a safety in their first offensive drive of the ball game. Once that was said and done, Lehigh put up 3 unanswered touchdowns to make it the 21-2 lead, which we currently stand at with 9:48 remaining here in your third as Malcolm Spencer picks up another 5-yard gain and another Raider first down. Under center is Ulmer. Spencer is right behind him. 2 receivers off to Ulmer's right side, 1 off to the left end. Spencer gets the ball in his hands and he will be halted right at the line of scrimmage. Second down, Riverdale. And you really have to appreciate the way that this Lehigh defense is just really adjusted throughout the game. Seems as if they are now stopping Spencer and the Riverdale running backs on almost every single play. They're just making it complicated to even get the ball in the attacking end. Ball at the Riverdale 45 in their own end. And there's a whistle right as Ulmer gets the ball in his hands. He was originally tossing it off the right end to Spencer there, off to the right side, I should say. It appears that this is a penalty, and Lehigh will be the guilty party. It was a holding, a 5-yard penalty that pushes the ball 5 yards up to the 50. Now 6 yards to go for the Raiders, second down. Very cool, crisp evening here at Lehigh Senior High School for some great football action on hand between these two arch rivals. More on that in just a moment. Here's Green across the 50, 45 before he goes spiraling out to play. Took a very violent hit there as Terrence McClendon got the tackle. And it was a nice rush up the near side. Flag on the play.
The gain is good enough for a first down. However, there is a flag on the play. We've got a personal foul chop block against the Raiders.
It's a Riverdale chop block. The flag is going to be called. 15-yard penalty drags back Riverdale. See, and once again, it's all about the penalties sometimes. I say it week in and week out here on the broadcast. Penalties can make or break your team. And what I mean by that is if your team, they're out there, they're making those hard hits, but they're just not playing close enough attention, or paying close enough attention, to their tackles or their hits, that can really draw you up in a severe penalty. That time around, it was a chop block, and you need to be careful with things like that. Holding, that's something you can prevent. However, it's easier said than done in the game of football to prevent tackles. What a huge hit at the 50-yard line. Lehigh sidelines it goes as Green picks up the carry. That was a 15-yarder on the way there. 3rd and 6. Riverdale pushing the ball out of their own end of the field. 8:05 left here in the third, 21-2 score. As Lehigh Senior really started the second half off right. Delshawn Green was able to stretch it across the goal line to award Lehigh with their 3rd touchdown of the ball game. Rush going to Spencer. He is nowhere close to the first down marker as he is stopped at the Lehigh 49. 4th down for the Raider offense. And that time Spencer, he just ran right into a brick wall that time around. He found no place to where he could quickly slip through when it comes to gaps in the line of scrimmage, and that's what really haunted him there. Riverdale timeout is on the way, and as a result, we will take a break here on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network as well. Riverdale down 21-2, and it's 4th down, ball in their control. 7:12 left in the third. More Raider football right after this. Riverdale's opening timeout of the second half has come to a conclusion. Riverdale offense, 4th and 5 is their scenario. They trail 21-2. 7:12 left to play here in your third. Ulmer comes back out with the Raider offense for the 4th down conversion. Spencer to his left. Takes a shotgun snap. Ulmer rolling out to the right side of the 40. Pass up ahead is going to be reeled in. Dante Quintella to the Lehigh 40-yard line. He's pushed up against the Raider benches. Far right side. Fresh new set of downs there for the Raiders. Well, Riverdale head coach Tom Roselle, you can bet he's really liking the fact that he just called that timeout there for Riverdale. It's 4th down at this point. Seems as if they're down by quite a few drives. However, they're certainly not out. Stranger things have happened here in the game of high school football. So Roselle calls the timeout, and it pays off. 1st and 10 at the Lehigh 40. Riverdale controls the ball. Trying to push forward.
Short gain on the play.
Is going to be that running back. It's a short gain on the play. 2nd and 9, a 1-yard gain on the play, which came up there from Malcolm Spencer, by the way. Big scram there on the play, so it took me a moment to see who it was getting out of that one. Well, just moments before our previous break, we were talking about the nice, cool, crisp weather as Spencer breezes ahead, and it's fumbled. Lehigh comes away with the ball across the 50, down to the 46-yard line. Lehigh has the turnover in enemy territory. Ulmer gets roughed up. Ball is stripped loose, and with 6:21 left here in your third, Lehigh has it yet again. Chef Augustin is able to take away that ball and just get some nice yard gainage on the play in the process. And there's an official's timeout for a water break coming on the way. Well, as of right now, here at Lehigh Acres, Florida, it is 77 degrees, 55% humidity. Wind is blowing at 6 miles per hour from left to right across your computer screen, and the best part is that there is no chance of precipitation. That's the great thing about the back half of the high school football season. We're here in Southwest Florida, and when it comes to the warmer months, the summer months, the weather is practically unpredictable. You never know if it's going to rain, if it's going to clear up. If it does rain, you don't know if it's going to go on for 20 minutes or 5 minutes. It is unpredictable 100%. And I remember at the beginning of the season, we had plenty of lightning delays. We had multiple games that had to be canceled or rescheduled to a later date. I mean, it really is something. I remember back when Riverdale played Gulf Coast just weeks ago at Carl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. That was a game that got pushed all the way back to 10 p.m. later that night. Kickoff was originally slated for 7:30. Here's a touchdown on the way for Lehigh. First play after the water break timeout. Jeff Augustin has came to play here in the second half and third quarter. Touchdown Lightning at the 6:10 marker of your third. Well, coming out of that water break timeout, it was just a nice screen off to the right side there of the quarterback Green. Augustin wide open, finds a nice gap, takes advantage, and drives it to the house. Marlon Morales taking the extra point when it comes to PATs. He is perfect on the night. It's now a 27-2 Lehigh score. Another successful extra point will make it 28-2. That kick is going to be successful, way good, and this game is getting out of hand. 26-point lead now for the Lehigh Lightning over Riverdale. 6:10 is what we have left to play here in your third. More play-by-play in just moments right here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. We are back on the air just moments after Lehigh wide receiver Jeff Augustin was able to take his first touchdown of the night to the house. As a result, it's 28-2 in advantage of Lehigh, and they are ready to kick the ball away to Riverdale. With that touchdown from Augustin, that now makes it 4 touchdowns for Lehigh from 4 different players. 3 of those touchdowns were courtesy of the offense. 1 was due to a scoop and score by the Lightning defense. Kickoff return coming on the way there from Tyrone Campbell. And he takes a nice shove at the 20 where he goes down into Raider end. 6:03 left to play here and quarter number 3. Riverdale offense, they have absolutely collapsed heading into your third quarter of play. And Lehigh, they just continue to take advantage drive after drive after drive. And this Lehigh senior football team, they are showing why they deserve to compete in the playoffs. Once again, they entered the game 5-3 coming into the night. Riverdale is 2-7 coming into the contest. Danny Ulmer, the quarterback for Riverdale. I formation. Handoff coming on the way here for Spencer. Gain of 1 followed up. He was trying to run off to his left side there. However, that Lehigh defense, they've been pesky all night, and they sniffed out Spencer right away as Quan Martin trips him up off the right foot. 2nd down. Just here at the Lehigh Senior press box, we are just right above the home fan section of the Lightning football team, and these fans, they're just loving every minute of this game. And I mean, why wouldn't you? Your team's up by 26. It's the Battle of the Bell rivalry football game. Only happens once a year. Of course, you would be very ecstatic. Ball fumbled after Ulmer is sacked at the 15. Riverdale is going to lose the ball. Another fumble recovery is on the way by Lehigh, and it's Mardochi Simon being credited with the grab there by Lehigh. That time Ulmer, he just got absolutely laid out at the 50. Either way, it would have been a loss of just a little over 5 on the play for Riverdale if he held on, but he went down, couldn't keep the ball in his possession. Simon just hops right on top of it, gives Lehigh back the ball at the enemy 15-yard line. In the gun is Delshawn Green. Stands tall, takes the shotgun snap, hands it away. 15-10, big carry on the play, big break of a tackle, and he was called out of play. Big, impressive carry from Nelson that time around. He broke not only 1 tackle, but 2 tackles, and then he sprinted to the end zone there, but the officials say he stepped out at around the 10-yard line. And it will officially be called 2nd and 7 here by your officials. So Riverdale really got saved there that time around, as the Raider ball club just can't seem to catch a break. Handoff to Nelson, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Lightning. 4:58 left in the third, and Lehigh has officially taken this game by force. It's something else, isn't it? 28-2 is your score. And it seems like it's just a reoccurring theme. I mentioned it early here in the broadcast. Riverdale, if they can't get anything started very early on, then bad habits are doomed to follow them. If they give it over once, then it tends to happen twice and many other times throughout the course of a ball game, and that's exactly what is happening to them tonight. flag on the play here as a Riverdale defenseman was trying to sneak past. It is an offsides against the Raiders. Trying to get sneaky there and blocked PAT was Jalen Cochran, but he gets over the line of scrimmage, and that's where the flag will be put into play. So the ball gets spotted just a yard closer, maybe just a few feet closer. That just makes the job a little bit more easier here for the kicker, Morales. Morales, he's 5 for 5 on the PAT column. Talk about domination by Lehigh, 34-2. Left here and the third is 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network will resume game action after a moment. Just moments ago, we witnessed Jelaine Nelson bring in the 5th touchdown for Lehigh on the night, courtesy of a handoff in the Lehigh red zone. That made it a 35-2 Lehigh advantage. 4 minutes and 58 seconds is what is left here on your third quarter clock. Live from Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Thank you all for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Big boot up ahead to the 5-yard line. It's going to be Campbell on the return. Campbell to the 40. To the 45, he will be marked out of play.
That's number 10, Tyrone Campbell on the return.
So Tyrell Campbell took a big hit out of play there at the 45 on the Lehigh benches.
And we'll give the Raiders good field position
as the Raiders take over at around midfield. Riverdale, they just got to play it out. At this point, it looks like the game is pretty much over. I hate to say that when it's third quarter, but if Riverdale, they keep the bad habits going, then certainly you could say Lehigh has this one in the bag. But right now, Riverdale, they cannot give up. They cannot get tired of playing. And what they need to do is just go down swinging, if that's what it comes down to. But they need to keep putting up those points on the board. And the gun is Ulmer. Ulmer throwing down the center of the field. The tender receiver was Quintella as he was getting guarded up there by Shannon Blue. Blue doesn't have to do too much work there, however, as the throw goes sailing over Quintella's head onto the Raider benches.
We've got timeout on the field.
So, as you just heard from our public address announcer, there is a timeout on the field. And we have yet to determine who this is going to be a timeout for. This is a little different. Right now you have players remaining out on the field. Okay, so maybe that was not a timeout. Players did not leave for the benches, so we apologize for that. Once again, no timeout after all. Raiders back out on the field. Back to the 35 it goes. Ulmer gets rocked, and he throws an interception. Lehigh back at it again, down to the 45. And take a look at who it is. It's Bud Cheney putting in the grab for the Lehigh defense, and yet again, Lightning is ready to strike here in Lehigh. Yeah, this is getting absolutely brutal, but I believe Danny Ulmer, he did the right thing there. He had a man right on him. The defenseman was Travis Lewis, getting right on Ulmer immediately there as the Lehigh D was in the blitz. But Ulmer threw it away. He found the man at the center of the field, which looked to be Dante Quintella. It was way off, and it ends up into the hands of Bud Cheney. 4:34 here in your third is when that interception comes into play. Nice carry here of about 6. Coming from Jelaine Nelson.
Number 6. That's Jay Nelson.
And you know, all season long I've talked about how loyal the fan base of the Riverdale Raiders have been. They are still out there in the visiting fan sections. Visiting section here in the Lehigh Senior Press Box is off to the far side of my broadcast position, as it is at least in most high school football stadiums here in Southwest Florida. But that fan section is still packed. I will tell you something. These fans love their football from Riverdale, and Lehigh loves their touchdown. They get it yet again. Jelaine Nelson, back-to-back touchdowns for Lehigh. Riverdale is getting absolutely embarrassed right now. (41-2). Yeah, Lehigh, they are just taking every opportunity they can get. They are making a statement for the playoffs next week, I'll tell you something. Clock is still going to run. It's a little bit of a mercy rule type situation we have going on right now. Once a team is up by 35 in the ball game, that clock is going to keep on running. And that's where we are in this game. Lehigh up 41-2, so the clock remains running even through the stoppages. That kick is up, and that kick is successful from Morales. So 3:13 in running. It's a 42-2 advantage. Lehigh is up by 40. And you know, looking into this ball game, I didn't think it was going to be like this. One bit. I thought Riverdale would at least keep it close, but you know, they've lost all kinds of control as they are now down by 40. And here's the interesting thing. That clock runs through every single stoppage with the exception of team timeouts and player injuries. So the clock is still running right now down to 2 minutes and a half, even as Lehigh is preparing to kick the ball away. It's a very unique rule, and I agree with it. If a team is getting just blown out in a game, that's what you can do. You see that a lot in youth baseball, Little League baseball, even up to the high school level of baseball. There's a mercy rule. If a team is up by 10 runs in a certain inning, then that game is all said and done. Typically in high school baseball, regulation consists of 7 innings, and if a team is up by 10, by the end of the 5th quarter, then the game is called off early. That's just one of the many instances of the mercy rule in sports, as another nice return is on the way from Campbell, who has certainly been doing his job for Riverdale tonight. Pushed up the near side to the 45. Raiders down by 40. Yes, I said that right. They are down by 40 points, 42-2 for any fans that may be tuning in. What a shocking way to conclude the season for Riverdale. And at this point, it looks like the defending Battle of the Bell champions, Lehigh, it appears at this point that they are going to keep that I'm going to ring your bell trophy, which is its official name, dating back to 22 years ago when it first originated yet again. Ulmer. I formation, goes to Spencer. He finds himself in a headlock. Ball strips loose. Lehigh gets on top, but the officials say Spencer got down before the ball was stripped loose. Malik Jackson wasn't taking any risks either way there for Lehigh as he got right to it. But Lehigh got something in their favor that time around. 2nd and 10. At their own 45, they try to maneuver it into the attacking end, now down to only 20 seconds left and rolling in quarter number 3. Fake handoffs galore on that play. Spencer will be the man who has it. Gain of 2. It's now 3rd down for Riverdale. That 3rd quarter is all said and done, and that's a quarter that Riverdale would like to forget, but it's a problem that they're going to have to face coming into your 4th quarter of play. 42-2, Lehigh is on top, heading into your final 12 minutes of regulation, which is on the way in just a few moments on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. We arrived to your fourth and final quarter of regulation here in tonight's football game. Riverdale down to Lehigh by a 40-point difference. Dante Quintella gets a successful pass about a yard short from the first down, and it's now a fourth down Raiders. So once again, for any fans that are now tuning in, we have a mercy rule on the way. And basically how this works yet again is if there is a 35-point difference on the scoreboard between two teams, the clock continuously rolls, with the exception of team timeouts and player injuries. But besides that, the clock rolls through everything. After touchdowns, after PATs, even when teams are preparing for kickoffs, that clock keeps on rolling as we are now a minute into your fourth. Ulmer and the Raider offense starts the quarter with the ball once again as they move from left to right across your computer screen. Lehigh is running from right to left. Lehigh will get drawn up with an offsides call. As a result, it's a first down Raiders. Right now, plenty of fans in the Lehigh fan section are beginning to come home early because they know this game has been getting out of hand. But you can bet they're leaving home happy as their Lehigh Lightning varsity football team is going to defend and secure the Battle of the Bell Trophy for the second year in a row. Far side, it's going to be caught by Quintella, who starts off the fourth quarter very solid. To the 25-yard line he goes. 42-2. This has to be one of the biggest deficits and struggles that Riverdale has been through all season. The last person, or the last team, I should say rather, that you want to really get blown out to is your arch rival. In Riverdale, they are a team of many seniors, so you can expect this Riverdale team to be very different next year, for better or worse. It's going to look very different. Plenty key players on the offense will have graduated by then, including the starting quarterback Daniel Ulmer, running back Malcolm Spencer, and you could just go on and on and on. Just about 25 different seniors are on this Riverdale ball club. There are 14 total on the Lehigh Lightning. There's an offsides whistle there against Lehigh. That puts the ball ahead another 5 yards to the 20, where Riverdale has another fresh new set of downs coming their way. In Riverdale, there have been plenty of games where they dropped the contest and the final score. However, they weren't by huge deficits. And they were very hard losses to take either way, just like tonight's game is going to be. There is a flag on the play right as soon as Ulmer makes the snap in the gun. False start against the Raiders, which brings them back another 5 yards.
That'll be first down and 10 for the Raiders.
Lehigh feeling comfortable, now under 10 minutes left to play, 7:43 to be exact in the game, up by 40. And about what I just mentioned there, Riverdale has lost 3 games by 8 points or less, and that includes last week when they played against Miami Westminster Christian at Carl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. Back at the 35, Ulmer airing it out to the end zone, all or nothing. Deshaun Lane, does he get in? He is out of bounds. That was probably the biggest end zone opportunity that Riverdale has had on the night. Deshaun Lane. And he was trying so hard to keep his feet in bounds near side to the goal line, and he was trying to keep the feet in, but he can't get it into the end zone. Either way, it wouldn't really make much of a difference, as this 35-point mercy rule score clock rule is in effect. Once again, 35-point lead for a team, or at least a 35-point lead, results in the clock being constantly ran, unless if it is a team timeout or a player injury out on the field. Besides that, the clock continues to run, so this should really make for a very quick and convenient fourth quarter for Lehigh, because you know they want to celebrate with that bell. We have a fumble on the play right here. Spencer with the ball. He gets locked up just 1 yard ahead of the line of scrimmage, and Lehigh has control yet again. It's Jacquez Brown holding that ball high up in the air with a lot of pride as he struts back to the benches to celebrate with his teammates. That Battle of the Bell trophy, by the way, it's located off to the left side of our broadcast position, down on the field. It's in the Lehigh attacking end, just behind the end zone. And many volunteers that have been working out on the field tonight, they have occasionally rung the bell after big key plays from Lehigh in celebration. Strangely enough, as of right now, the clock has stopped with 6 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the fourth, but it seems like that is due to an official discussion out on the field. They had to really discuss things, make things right. Right now you have one of the officials talking to a coach on the Lehigh benches. Clock has still not been ran yet, excuse me. And finally, the clock is back up and running. To the 30, to the 35-40, big play here by the Lehigh Lightning. It's DeMarquise Collins all the way to the 30-yard line, tackled out of the play, left side. Tackle coming to Jalen Cochran as he was getting a bit locked up with some choice words with Collins. However, that quickly subsides, that little confrontation there, as the officials get in the way of it. Raiders down 42-2 as they are on the defense at the moment. Clock stopped again, 5:27 left, and there is a player injury out on the field. And who is this? Well, let's hope this isn't Ulmer. I do not believe it is at the moment, and it is... Well, let's see. It's not Ulmer, but it's a player in the backfield at around the 30-yard line, and he's holding on to his right hand here, and what it is, it's going to be Braden Rooks. Now, Braden Rooks, over the past couple of weeks, he has had a little bit of discomfort in that arm. And he has decided to play in this game. He had it taped up for most of the week, I know that. And he decided to play in this game, and it looks like that arm has come back to affect him yet again, very unfortunately. I mean, you can't blame him for playing with an injury like that. He came into the game with his arm taped up. I mean, hey, he's one of the many seniors on this Riverdale ball club. It's the final game of his playing career. So, hey, why wouldn't you want to play?
It'll be first down and 7.
First and 7 for Lehigh. Carry on the way across the 40, down to the 50. Nice tackle out of play there.
Jay Nelson on the carry.
Getting on top of that player was Alfierd there for Riverdale. And it was Nelson with the rush. And the first down, Lehigh. Under 5 minutes to play. Lehigh still up by 40 here in the fourth quarter. And once again, I can tell you right now, Lehigh, they're not going to die down. They're going to keep putting points up on the board because they're making a statement for the upcoming playoffs, which begins next Friday. Lehigh, they came in the game with a 5-3 win-loss record with a win tonight. That'll boost them up to 6 wins and 3 losses here in 2016. They head into the playoffs on a high note. This is just a way to really make a statement and really get some additional reps out there on the field for both players, offense and defense. 5-yard penalty goes against Lehigh. That's offsides. So they get behind their own 30. Delshawn Green, the quarterback for Lehigh, a sophomore, continues to shine. He spins in the backfield, running off to his left side. Breaks a tackle, but he trips over that defenseman. And it was Connor Johnston with the tackle, his first of the evening. Second down for the Lightning offense. So just across the 25, that ball is going to get down. Now under 3 minutes left here. With a loss tonight, Riverdale goes down to 2-8 on the season. And as you can imagine, and as we mentioned throughout the course of tonight's game, there will be no playoff contention for RHS. Clock still running. Meanwhile, Lehigh was looking downfield the entire offensive line there for something. Not too sure what that was all about, but they're able to get up ahead, and here's a handoff up the middle to Nelson. Gain of 1. That makes it a third down. 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in regulation. 42-2 is your difference. Riverdale is at a huge disadvantage. Well, we certainly appreciate you all for tuning into the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network throughout the course of tonight's game. Green gives it away to Nelson. Nelson, far side to the 40, and he is laid out there for the stoppage. That's a 15-yard gain, and it brings up another Lehigh Lightning first down. A great thing about Delshawn Green. He's made some great plays throughout the course of tonight's game. However, he has absolutely no problem letting his running back shine. 90 seconds left. Lehigh up by 40. This is the moment that they have waited for all season. They're heading into the playoffs, and at this point they have the fresh new set of downs. All they have to do is kneel it down. And Green does exactly that in victory formation for Lehigh. Now under a minute left. Riverdale will drop this game 42-2. And now at this point, Lehigh, they're going to celebrate with the bell, and they also await on who their playoff opponent is going to be next week. Under 40 seconds left. They're going to really drown out that play clock here. Kneel it down, and that'll be the end of this game. So one more kneel here for Lehigh will make this all said and done official. 20 seconds left. One more kneel. This game is official. Live from Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. There's the kneel. It's official, folks. This game is just about done. 3 seconds. 1. Clock is out. Game is over. What a game. What a season. The Lehigh Lightning defeat the Riverdale Raiders in the Battle of the Bell contest by a 42-2 final score. Once again, Lehigh bounces up to 6-3 on the season. 2-8 goes the Riverdale Raiders. Well, fans, once again, that marks another end of the chapter and the book of Riverdale Raiders football. It certainly is a very interesting feeling. Well, once again, it's been a great game, and what a season we have just concluded here in the year of 2016. Riverdale came into the season after a frustrating 3-7 record last year, and although head coach Tom Roselle has been around at Riverdale for quite some time now as the athletic director, this was the inaugural season that these current players have had him as the head coach. Although it wasn't the prettiest of a season for the Riverdale Raiders varsity football team, plenty of memories were made. Come spring football season in May of 2017, there will be plenty of new talent rising up from the freshman and JV levels of high school football. Once again, there are just about 25 seniors on this Riverdale ball club. Very experienced team, but Lehigh just got the best of them tonight. So there will be a very new team next year, and they will attempt to prove themselves worthy of making it to the top level of this Riverdale program, those JV and freshman athletes at Riverdale. And I'm excited to see how it goes personally, but until then on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, we will be covering the RHS boys varsity basketball team as they begin their 2016-2017 regular season very soon. Their opening game of the season is scheduled on November 25th against the Moorhaven Terriers, with that game tipping off at 9 a.m., and that will be a neutral site contest, and it is a part of a Thanksgiving tournament that will take place right here at Lehigh Senior. However, our opening broadcast coverage of the basketball program will begin on December 5th when they take on Barron Collier, the Cougars, at the Raider Rock Gym back at RHS. Tip-off to that game is at 7 p.m., and tickets are $5 a piece. And just before we go off the air here tonight, just a few personal thank yous I'd like to give out here. I would like to thank Lehigh Senior High School Athletic Director Nick Dysert and Lehigh Senior High School as a whole for allowing me to come out and call this game from the Lehigh press box, all while representing Riverdale High School on the road. This is the first time, once again, on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network that we have had a road broadcast, and it certainly has been fun coming out here to Lehigh, calling the action, and a big congratulations goes out to Lehigh Senior High School for winning the Battle of the Bell for the second consecutive year in a row. And as we shift gears back to football one last time, to the listeners and fans out there that have supported RHS football throughout the year, the team and I would like to say thank you for your endless support, and we hope to see you out in the bleachers of Carl Engel Field for spring football, which I'm sure will come up quickly before we all know it. Signing off from Dr. James A. Adams Memorial Stadium at Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acres, Florida, this is Nick Rush saying thank you for listening to this presentation of high school football. Have a safe remainder to your Friday night and a great rest of your weekend.